Aside for LaJaramini Brown, it's what's on the table today after his capital murder conviction of a Huntsville police officer. The latest tonight.
He is being watched, 24 hours a day by a member of this office.
A student at Cornell University arrested and facing federal charges for making threats against Jewish students. And it's not just happening there. We'll fill you in.
Plus, it was a cold morning across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Freeze warnings in place once again as we head into the overnight. We'll talk about it in just a bit.
All right, and your Fox 54 News starts right now. We begin with the story we've been monitoring on Zert Road, where Huntsville police, along with SWAT, were in a standoff at the Cambridge subdivision off of Zert Road. That standoff has just ended and the suspect is in police custody. This began around noon when police went to the address to serve a warrant. The suspect barricaded himself inside their home, and Huntsville police couldn't tell us what that warrant was for. The standoff forced police to shut down Zert Road between Martin Road and Ash Grove Drive. Glad you could join us. I'm Kenesha Dees. A lot to cover today. We've also learned a Huntsville 6th grade student had weapons while on school campus. Huntsville City Schools told us the student had an unloaded gun and a pocket knife at Whitesburg Middle School. Officials say the weapon was immediately confiscated and the student was removed from campus before school started. The student is expected to face disciplinary actions. All right, let's take a break from news and turn our attention to weather. Jordan, are we looking at another night of bitter cold? Yeah, definitely going to be another cold night across the Tennessee Valley on the heels of what was a rather chilly afternoon. Temperatures only climbed into the lower 50s today. I want you to keep in mind that the average high temperature on this November 1st, somewhere in the upper 60s and lower 70s. I wanted to show you a live view from the top of Montesano there as the sun sets. I only got a couple of more days to show you actual live camera views because by the time we get to Sunday, the sunset is going to be at 4:47 p.m., which means if I were to show you this exact view on Monday, it would be pitch black and there'd really be nothing to look at. So really, I'm just taking the advantage of the opportunity while I can to show you a beautiful evening from the top of Montesano. Temperatures definitely on the chilly end of the spectrum, right around 52 degrees. Now, we are, of course, going to continue to cool off as we head into the overnight. We're going to cool off somewhat quickly under a nice clear sky and a calm wind. 40 at 7, 39 by 8, 36 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock. From there, temperatures only continue to fall. So far, in fact, that another freeze warning has been issued for everybody except Giles County up in southern Middle Tennessee. Why are we excluding Giles County? Honestly, I don't know. Giles County is under the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service office up in Nashville. Everybody else is under the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service office here in Huntsville. But rest assured, our friends in Pulaski are going to be just as cold as everybody else. But warmer air is on the way, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. No sentence for LaJaramini Brown today in day 2 of his penalty trial. Whether Brown gets death or life in prison remains on the table after the jury found him guilty of capital murder yesterday morning. Brown is convicted of killing Huntsville stack agent Billy Clardy III back in 2019. Our Sedona Meadows has been out at the Madison County Courthouse all day. In Sedona, another day of waiting.
Yes, Kenesha, another long day of waiting. Now, the jury is still deliberating on whether Brown should receive the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, the jury did have a question today regarding aggravating circumstances. Now, that is the factors that make the criminal act more severe. And they also asked the judge to reread instructions. Now, this has been exactly 1 week since testimony began in the trial. Just yesterday, the jury found Brown guilty of capital murder in the death of Huntsville police officer Billy Clardy III. Now, yesterday, emotional testimonies were given in front of the jury from both family and friends of Clardy and family and friends of Brown. Now, Clardy's wife said, quote, "Nothing about our life has been normal since Billy died," end quote, and mentioned the devastating impact his death has had on their family and children. Brown's mother apologized to the Clardy family when she was on the stand just yesterday. And Brown's son said, quote, "I know what it's like to lose someone you love, and I'm just hoping I don't have to lose another one," end quote. Now, it takes about 10 out of 12 juror votes. It takes exactly 10 out of 12 juror votes in order for Brown to receive the death penalty, and only 7 in order for him to receive life in prison without parole. But they will be back tomorrow to continue deliberating, as there was no decision made today. But for now, live outside Madison County Courthouse, Sedona Meadows, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Sedona. We will definitely continue to cover this. Well, the Anti-Defamation League is reporting it's seen a nearly 400% increase in anti-Semitic incidents across the nation since the Hamas attack on Israel. The report came just days before police arrested a Cornell University student for making anti-Semitic threats against Jewish students on campus. Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams has the story.
I definitely knew anti-Semitism existed. I definitely didn't think that the problem was as at large of a scale as it is right now.
Cornell University still reeling after police arrested 21-year-old junior Patrick Dye for threatening to kill and injure Jewish students on campus. According to the criminal complaint, Dye posted online threats saying he would shoot up the school's kosher dining hall and also threatened to stab and slit the throats of Jewish students on campus.
Currently, he is under constant observation, meaning he is being watched 24 hours a day by a member of this office.
Dye's facing serious federal charges and could face up to 5 years in prison. This arrest comes as protests explode on college campuses across the country, and many Jewish students from New York to California say they don't feel safe.
We've had a plethora of incidents happen at UC Berkeley, everything from 2 physical assaults of students getting physically hurt on campus. We've had professors offering bonus and extra credit to students for attending pro-Hamas rallies.
The Justice Department also warning today they've seen a rise in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia across the country.
We are focusing our efforts on confronting and disrupting illegal threats wherever they arise.
Patrick Dye remains in federal custody. He'll be back in court in November. Reporting at Cornell University, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
All right, well, the patriarch of a popular family farm known for its fall activities in Madison County has died. Tate Farm's Homer Tate died last night, according to the family. The family posting on their Facebook page described Homer as a cornerstone in the agriculture community. He was also a deacon at Flint River Baptist Church and had a, quote, servant's heart. Mr. Tate was 95 years old. Our deepest condolences to the Tate family.
There can be no serious strategy for AI without at least trying to engage all of the world's leading AI powers.
Well, in England, tech CEOs and global leaders are gathering to focus on frontier AI. The Artificial Intelligence Safety Summit includes guests like Elon Musk and even major global competitors. Some believe AI could automate at least half of employees' work in the next few decades. Here at home, President Biden signed an executive order this week trying to address the potential job displacement. Industry leaders are also meeting with senators at an AI Insight Forum. Well, some good news for all of us who paid state taxes last year. A one-time tax rebate will be on the way starting on December 1st, a month from now. To qualify, you have to have filed a 2021 individual tax return. A $150 rebate goes to single, head of family, and married filing separate. $300 goes to couples filing jointly. For more details, just head on over to our website.
Pap smears are a screening test for cervical cancer. It's screening for cellular changes that can occur.
Well, one of the many reasons women should go visit their OBGYN, and doctors recommend they start early too. Your Wellness Wednesday in 2 minutes. Bird watchers, this is for you. You may have noticed fewer birds than usual in America. We'll verify this in a few.
Now, Wellness Wednesday on Fox 54 News, sponsored by WeGenesis.
The CDC reports that staying physically healthy is one way women can improve emotional well-being. And taking steps to prevent illness includes routine gynecologist visits. In today's Wellness Wednesday, our Jasmine Bird gives us a deeper dive into young women's health and the importance of annual OBGYN visits.
I really encourage any teenager that is having any questions about sexual health, about their periods, about routine health care, come visit their gynecologist or established care.
Whether you're sexually active or not.
The sexual health is just one part of my role in their health care. There's painful periods, there's problems with mood and mental health, there's issues with weight and different things like that I can play a role in as part of their healthcare team. I think there's a lot of different parts of that conversation that we can have. And sexual activity, while important, and we will always ask about it, is not the main reason that you have to come to a gynecologist.
And should a woman have an abnormal pap smear result? What is a pap smear, and what exactly does that abnormal result mean?
Pap smears are a screening test for cervical cancer. It's screening for cellular changes that can occur, most often caused by a virus called human papillomavirus, or HPV. HPV is a very, very common sexually transmitted infection and can occur at any point in a woman's lifetime, but increases that risk of cellular changes. The pap smear helps us detect those changes early so that they can be monitored and treated if needed to help prevent cervical cancer.
So at what age is a young woman encouraged to see a gynecologist?
I still would encourage every woman to come every year, especially after the age of 21.
And another thing to note.
I think that the HPV vaccine, the vaccination protective against certain strains of the HPV virus, is always an important part of the conversation that we have with teenagers. The younger you are when you get that vaccination, the more effective it is at preventing certain HPV infections later in life and can help significantly decrease your risk of developing cervical cancer.
In Huntsville, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Jasmine. Well, fewer birds might be in the sky, and it's not just because they're migrating from winter weather. Stay with us. And Jordan, are we expecting the first frost of the month tonight?
Yep, certainly are. Another freeze warning in place across almost all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee as we head into the overnight. But warmer air is on the way, and we'll talk about that here in a little while.
Have you noticed fewer birds at your bird feeder? Ariane Till is here to verify if the American bird population is shrinking.
For many people, bird chirps are nature's soundtrack for their morning. But some people believe they're seeing fewer birds than they used to. Verify viewer Crystal emailed us to ask if it's true that the bird population is declining. So let's verify using these sources. The U.S. North American Bird Conservation Initiative Committee is a coalition of government agencies, private organizations, and bird groups that study bird trends, among other things. Their most recent report, published in 2022, concluded that there are 3 billion fewer birds in the U.S. and Canada than there were 50 years ago. A 2019 study of North American bird populations published by the Association for the Advancement of Science found that more than half of the 529 North American bird species studied are declining. So we can verify, yes, the U.S. bird population is declining. So what's causing the decline? The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service say habitat loss is believed to be by far the greatest threat to birds both directly and indirectly. That's in part due to climate change, habitat destruction, and pesticides. Another big problem? Pet cats. According to estimates from U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, cats kill more birds than collisions with buildings and structures, cars, poison, electrocutions, and oil pits combined. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Now, your Weather Rate certified most accurate forecast. Fox 54 weather.
Come on, bring on the cat slander.
I'm not slandering. Technically, Ariane Till did the slandering, and I'm just following up with yet another reason as to how cats are impacting society in negative ways. We now have far less birds, apparently.
I mean, I still love cats. That's not going to change.
I now, in Kenesha's defense, and in the defense of every cat lover on planet Earth, I did say I also blame the fact that we keep building buildings for the birds to fly into.
He did say that.
I did, in fact, say that. It was a cold morning across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Check this out. Many of us started the day somewhere in the 20s. Very few folks actually got to stay in the 30s as we got into the overnight, and then very early this morning. I believe the Shoals were the only folks that actually stayed stayed in the 30s. They started the day right around 32 degrees. That was the warm spot this morning. Meridianville and Decatur started the day at 26. Russellville started at 27. Huntsville, International, and Fort Payne each started the day at 29 degrees. From there, temperatures only climbed into the low and mid 50s this afternoon. The last time we were that cold at the Huntsville International Airport, you got to go all the way back to March 20th. It has been a minute, y'all, and it is going to continue as we head into the overnight. Another freeze warning has been issued for everybody except Giles County up in southern Middle Tennessee. Is Giles County going to be warmer than everybody else? No, definitely not, but they find themselves under the jurisdiction of the folks up in Nashville, whereas everybody else is under the jurisdiction of the folks here in Huntsville. Why Nashville has chosen not to issue anything for Giles County, I don't know, but rest assured, it is going to be just as cold in Giles County as it will be everywhere else. Once again, temperatures drop into the mid and upper 20s by the time we get to the earliest hours of your Thursday morning. That means, once again, the kids are going to want to bundle up as they head out the door for school tomorrow morning. You're going to want to bundle up as you head out the door for work. 32 at 8, 39 at 9, 46 by 10 o'clock. We are going to get plenty of sunshine once again tomorrow, and we are going to get some improvement in the low temperature department. By Friday morning, we're at least into the lower 30s. By Saturday, by Sunday, we're in the low and mid 40s. By Monday and Tuesday of next week, our low temperatures back in the low and mid 50s. High temperatures are also going to begin to improve a little bit by Thursday afternoon. We're talking about highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Now, that's still well below where we should be this time of year, but it is an improvement nonetheless. The average high temperature, 69 degrees. By the time we get to the end of the month, it'll be 58. And then on average, we get 4.94 inches of rainfall in the month of November. And frankly, I hope we get every single drop of it plus a couple of more inches. Now, that's not going to happen this week. We're dry through Thursday, Friday. We're dry through the weekend, and then we're dry by the time we get to Monday of next week. Of course, the drought problem still exists across the Tennessee Valley. Some folks at this point across northeast Alabama, across far northwest Alabama, talking about extreme drought conditions. Having any sort of a campfire, really a bad idea, because a spark could fly and that could catch your grass on fire, and from there things could spread at a rather dangerous rate. Don't forget, daylight saving time comes to an end this weekend, Sunday, November 5th. Your clocks are going to fall back 1 hour. It's always the microwave in the oven you have to think about. Maybe you're like me and the car just stays like perpetually whatever time the car is. It's always the microwave in the oven you have to think about. Sunset on Sunday afternoon is going to be at 4:47 p.m. Now, y'all, I am not looking forward to that, and I am happy to talk about it. 72 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Yeah, back into the 70s this weekend. 76 on Monday. It looks like we stay consistent with the 70s by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
I am not looking forward to an early sunset either, Jordan. Thank you. Well, you can help add to Huntsville's tree canopy at this weekend's annual tree planting day. It's this Saturday morning from 9 to 11 at John Hunt Park. Mayor Battle, City Arborist Mark Byers, and Huntsville's Green Team will have all the necessary supplies you need to help plant. All you have to do is just show up. For more information about this green event, please visit our website. Well, check this out. Family heirlooms that were once considered lost returned to their rightful owners. Gary was tracked down on social media after a homeowner found a pair of wedding rings hidden in the kitchen lights of his parents' old home in Pennsylvania. Wow. Well, the rings belong to Gary's parents, who passed away years ago. They are from 1947. Gary says he looked high and low for them after his mother passed in 2012. Hannah and her husband Josh Martin and their children driving the rings to Gary's house in Phoenixville this past weekend.
Couldn't believe that somebody would take the time to track me down, and I just assumed they were lost forever. Kind enough to realize that they were of sentimental value to someone.
That's amazing. Well, Gary says his parents hid things everywhere in the house. They even had cash in the basement and cinder blocks. Wow. Well, if you or someone you know is in need of food, listen up. One Gen Away is giving out fresh produce, dry goods, and more this Saturday at DeKalb County VFW Fairgrounds in Fort Payne. Food distribution starts at 9. All right, Mo, what's happening in the world of sports?
Well, Kanisha, several local teams tried to bring back blue maps in the sport of high school volleyball today down in Birmingham. We got a recap from today's action next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey everybody, all roads led to Birmingham once again this week for some of our local teams. This time it was in the sport of high school volleyball as blue maps were handed out today at the Birmingham Crossplex. Up first was Plainview. The Lady Bears taking on Mobile Christian for the 3A crown. Coach Skylar Gray's team scored an easy victory in game one and took the W by 14 points in the second set. But set three, it was close, but Plainview pulled out a 25-22 win in set three. Plainview's Chloe Hatch was a 3A tournament MVP. She had 16 kills and 10 digs to lead the Bears to a championship. Off the Class 5A now, where Arab tried to capture a blue map. They took on Montgomery Academy for the crown. The Knights dropped their first set 25-16, but bounced back with a 25-23 win in set two to tie things up. After that, Academy of Montgomery, they scored back-to-back set wins, including a 25-14 win in the final set to take the 5A title. Arab finishes their season with a 48-14 record. Other action that occurred today, Montgomery Catholic defeated Deschler 3-0. UMS Wright, they also defeated Madison County 3-1. Bob Jones did beat Hoover 3-0. So the Patriots will take on McGill-Tulane tomorrow for the Class 7A volleyball crown. Off to baseball now, where the Texas Rangers are one win away from claiming another World Series crown. Last night they jumped out to an 11-1 lead with a 4-run victory. Game 5 of this series is tonight at 6 p.m. Watch it right here on Fox 54. Kanisha?
That's right, Mo, right here. All right, well, coming up after the game, affordable housing has been a problem in the metro area. Tonight after the game, we'll have information on a new program that could help solve the problem. Well, the first 2 days of November is when Mexican culture honors loved ones who have died. We'll have more tonight on Dia de los Muertos in Athens. And 2 teenagers were granted the wish of a lifetime, having a seat in the World Series, thanks to the nonprofit organization Make-A-Wish. Join us tonight after the game. Well, it's that time of the year again. Mariah Carey is bringing the holiday cheer early. The iconic singer took to social media today to welcome the Christmas season, or Mariah season, as she calls it. In a short video, Carey is seen there defrosting, just in time to cue her hit 1994 song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's earned the singer a Guinness World Record for highest charting holiday song by a solo artist on the Billboard US Hot 100. I love the song personally.
I love the song, and I love the fact that in November we begin celebrating Christmas. I love it so much. I wore my snowflake tie today. I don't know if you noticed, but I wore my. It's Christmas, y'all. Thanksgiving gets its week, but it is time for Christmas.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you after the game.